Spidey smash! That was way more fun than it should have been. Hey guys, Jordan here, and today I'm taking a look at the Spider-Man Classic Spider-Hulk. And this guy, he might be my favorite figure that I have. He's big, he's in scale with the Marvel Legends guy, so he's probably a little bit smaller than a Hulk. I'm actually not sure. I know he's much larger than the Spider-Man Classic Spider-Man. So here you can see that the Spider-Hulk is larger than the Spider-Man in height and more noticeably just in girth. He's a lot wider. And Spider-Hulk is kind of hunched over. It's just kind of his normal stance, so that kind of takes some inches off, but you can see him next to another Marvel Legends guy as soon as I get them standing. Here's Spider-Hulk next to Sasquatch, so you can see Sasquatch is quite a bit taller, but as far as width goes, Spider-Hulk might have the edge there. But yeah, he's a good-sized figure, and he just feels real solid, which I like. I like having a little heft to my figures, makes them feel a little more stable and durable and everything. So if you look at him, like you can see, he obviously has the Spider-Man costume on, and there are parts where he's just tearing through the costume because he's just too big for it. For those of you who don't know, there's been Spider-Hulk, I believe, back in Web of Spider-Man was the first appearance of Spider-Hulk, and then recently with the whole Gamma storyline with all the Hulks and everything, where pretty much every hero got turned into a Hulk version of themselves. So this one's based off of the first appearance of the Spider-Hulk, because it came out before that new Hulk storyline. But I really like this figure. You can see the detail in him, just lots of muscle going through, and like I said, you can see him tearing up the costume, just being too big, especially on the hands and the feet. The fingers and toes are sticking through, so that's really cool. He's got the big jawline now. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at just the paint. There's not much shading in it or anything. Just kind of the solid red and blue for the Spider-Man costume. The paint apps are pretty clean. You can see the green sticking through in parts. So the paint job's pretty basic, but I think it looks really good. And the sculpt itself, just the texture, you can see the muscles coming through. The lines in the suit are actually sculpted in. Like, they aren't just drawn on or anything, they're sculpted in there. So I really like that. And that's with the mask as well. All the masks on the lines, and actually the eyes are raised a little bit. So that looks really good. I've got a little blue right there on mine. It's just a little mess up, but not too worried about it. The articulation is pretty good on this guy. You know, the head can go around the full 360. The arms can go around up there. There's a little mechanism, you can hear it clicking. That's kind of the gimmick on this. I'll go over that in a second, but it doesn't hinder the articulation at all. Then the biceps here can swivel. It's a single joint elbow. The wrist can turn 360, and what's really cool is there's multiple points of articulation on each individual finger. So the thumb has 1 point, so you can bring that in by itself and out, and then every other has right at the base articulation, and then it can bend again in the middle of the finger. So that's really nice. So that gives you a lot of options on what you want to do. So you can give him the classic Spider-Man kind of giant web shooting thing going on. It's the same on both arms. Then he's got the diaphragm articulation up here. So that's a 360 and the up and down. Just getting those crunches on. The waist, 360. Then the legs can go out and up. And then the knees are up, and the top of the thigh can go 360. The knees are also single jointed. And the ankles here There's no there's no rotation at the ankles, but they can move up and down a little bit, but they're pretty stiff on mine, so I don't really want to mess with it too hard. You can see there. And then the toes can also come up for better posing and stuff. So articulation is pretty good. That gimmick I was talking about is here you can see this switch on the back of this Spider Hulk. And you press it down and his arms go up, press it up and his arms go down. So just spider smash there. Which, it's a pretty simple gimmick, and I like that it doesn't stick out too far on the back. Like from the side here, you can just barely see it, so it really doesn't get in the way of the figure at all. And, you know, when I first, like, I've seen other reviews with that gimmick on it, and, like, when I first saw it, I was thinking that it was going to be real dumb. But it's actually kind of fun to play around with. I will admit that I have spent a lot of time making Spidey smash, so, you know, I like it. You know, if you aren't into gimmicks or anything, you know, at least it doesn't get in the way of articulation or anything like that, and it blends in pretty well. But I actually think it's pretty fun. You can make him throw stuff down, including other action figures. But yeah, I really like this character. He's solid. I like the sculpt. The paint is simple, but it looks really good. Excuse me, and he's just a real cool figure, and like there are just a lot of little details, like on all the rips on the costume, like the edges are actually sculpted up to show the costume kind of tearing away. Like he's got dirty nails, because any version of a Hulk automatically becomes a dirty, dirty man, apparently. They aren't big on personal hygiene, and just this guy is so much fun to play with. So, you know, he's definitely one of my favorite figures in my collection. So if you have a chance to pick this guy up, I definitely recommend doing it. So that's my review on the Spider-Man Classic Spider Hulk. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you subscribe.